Nearly there.
Oh, perfection.
We're back for the V10 Mazda build, and by the end of this video, you guys will have seen an MX-5 with a fully integrated V10 in it. Not mine, but we'll get to that later. Let's check out my car. Since we've been here last, the guys at Mad Ford have fully stripped down the Mazda further, and there's definitely some holes here that I never knew existed. So the goal for today is to get some fabrication started on this Mazda so that it can be ready to take that V10. Let's get Mick in to show us exactly what's wrong with my car. Right, Mick, I thought my MX-5 was okay, but what you guys have uncovered says otherwise.
Yes, we found some gremlins that I don't think you've ever seen before.
Okay.
So obviously the main one, we found the front chassis rail on the driver's side has got quite a bit of tin worm.
You would not want to have a crash, a front end crash on that.
No, you certainly would not. The reason this does this is because it's a multi-layered chassis rail, i.e. there's 2 or 3 sheets of steel in there. Water gets in between and it can't get out and it just rots it through.
So we're going to have to cut all that out.
That will have to completely cut out, and I'll have to remake the chassis rails and spot weld it all back together.
Okay, anything else?
We've got a little bit on the back.
We saw this last time, but it looks a bit worse.
Yes, we found some localised rust in the wheel arch. We're not sure how far that goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind the paint back, see how far this rust's gone into the quarter. If we need a quarter, we'll put a complete quarter on it, including the inner arch. If we can get away with sneaking a repair panel in, that's what we'll do.
And the sill got crushed last time.
The sill got crushed by the ramp last time, so there's obviously some structural integrity missing there, so we will cut the sill out and see how bad that is. Also found some more around the other side.
If I remember, this side wasn't as bad.
No, corrosion-wise is not as bad, but we have got a mass amount of filler that you told me about, obviously due to your little accident. Yeah,
That's me, yep.
You can see the panels rippled to death. So what we'll do, we'll remove all of the filler. We'll use a dent pull and try and bring that sheet metal back to as close as we can. And then instead of using a massive amount of filler, we'll just do a very slight skim just to bring it all back how it should be.
Okay.
So, and then we found some more on the front. Now, against popular belief in the UK, because we're right-hand drive and we drive on the left-hand side of the car generally gets worse rust and corrosion because of driving in the gutter.
Okay.
Your car has gone against that. The actual driver's side chassis rail at the front is far worse than the passenger side.
That's interesting.
So it's completely backwards to what we normally see. Yes, there's some localised rust. You can see the chassis started to blow underneath. You've got holes. Same again, it's the lamination of the chassis rails. Water gets in and it blows it apart. But we shall cut that out and put some new sections in.
Perfect. Now you're going to find my bod's job at that filler at the rear arch there, but also you uncovered this one.
Yes.
I mean, that's that classic, I need to get through an MOT, just weld something that looks okay.
Yep. I get that.
You guys will do better than that.
Of course we will. New wings. So you'll be cutting from this end. I'm just going to show you from this end. 90 degrees to the panel. The edge of the plasma touching the guide rail. Press the button and literally just pull it nice and steady, keeping it up against the guide rail, and that will cut off like a knife through butter. So what you're actually doing, Mike, is you're creating a jet of plasma when you press that, and then compressed air is blown through that plasma, which blows the molten pool of steel away. So I'll show you again. You can do any pattern you want.
It's almost like a pen, a very hot pen.
If you can use a pen, you can use a plasma cutter.
I better not bugger this up then.
Perfect.
That was sick. How'd you not sit and do that all day?
I'd never earn any money. Look, I mean, that's a perfect straight line, Mike.
I will take that.
Yeah. Okay, so Mike, have you ever used a section bender before?
I haven't. It looks like quite a simple machine.
Yeah. Put the steel plate in, lock it down, pull your bar and adjust it to 90 degrees or whatever angle you need.
Sweet.
So grab your handle.
Yep.
Put your foot on the bar and
Pull
you
up.
want to pull up until that sheet's 90 degrees.
There.
Bit more. Let go. Little bit more. Go on. Boop. Perfect.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
So that just slots in now?
Yeah, what we've done, we've made a U-section. That's the inner part of the chassis. And obviously we'll overfill over the top with another piece.
Okay. Nice
return so I can weld through from the other side. And that slots in nice and happily, and we'll weld that in.
Let's see it in place. It's pretty damn accurate.
Yep. Put your hood inside.
Thank you.
That's it. With a nice little flick of your head, that should come down. There you go.
Oh, Darth Vader.
You got it, baby. Nice pair of gauntlets.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Is that looking all right so far?
Yeah, you want to come a little bit to your left. Keep a little bit more onto the newer than the old.
It's much chunkier than yours.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not the prettiest.
It's not the
thing I've ever
prettiest,
seen.
but we have a grinder mic.
Okay, so that's that side done, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Oh yeah, that got me in the
That
sock,
got you.
that one.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I've seen far worse, mate.
Perfect, thank you for that, Mick.
You're welcome, sir. So what we've done, Mike, you've just marked that line. That's just an excess of material sticking out.
Yep.
So now you've done that mark on there, I can chop that, and that should fit perfect contour of the chassis rail.
Cool.
I've put the zinc coating on, we'll put zinc coating on here. I'll also drill some holes in this, and we'll do puddle wells through, so that will tie all the laminations together. And then we'll fill the whole thing with wax oil afterwards.
While Mick is sorting out all my horrendous welds, I thought I'd repay the favour and clean his car. This is his beloved Ford Focus ST170, essentially the ST equivalent to my ST200 at the time. And of course, this series is sponsored by Turtle Wax, so we've got all their products and we're going to use it to clean this car. Starting off with their 3-in-1 detailer, and it's waterless, so I can just get cracking. Now this car is what Turtle Wax would call soiled, so you have to give it a good dousing. And then you just get stuck in. Now, what Mick doesn't know is that I actually really want this car. I think it would be the perfect two-car garage with my ST200, having this sort of lesser powered, but I guess nimbler ST170 Focus. It would also make the perfect drive-train production car, filming car, because of course it's the estate, so you can fit loads of camera kit in it. See, how cool is that badge? Imagine having this parked up with the ST200 parked right next to it. People that know would know. I'd say my car cleaning is about as good as my welding. Another thing that Turtle Wax nails is the smell. This stuff smells amazing, like forest berries. I'll try not to get this on your lens. Give that a whiff. Smells good, right? There's no point in Mick's car looking amazing on the outside if we can't see out of it, and the glass in here looks pretty grubby. So we're going to use Turtle Wax's Clearview glass cleaner. Now Mick live streams from his car, so he's got this mount in the way, so sorry Mick, I'm going to take that off. Camera guys, get in there and have a look at how disgusting that windscreen is after that. The main thing to do with glass cleaner is not spray the windscreen itself, because then you get glass spray all over your nice interior. You spray the towel. Get that nice and wet, and then go to town. Mick is incredibly proud of the Compomotive wheels on this car, but they're looking a bit mucky, so we're going to use Turtle Wax's wheel cleaner. So, soak the wheel with as much of this stuff as you fancy, and then use their wheel brush to really get in amongst it and agitate all of that dirt. Once you're done with the brush, give the wheel a quick rinse and it'll come out sparkling. We've left a link in the description below for you guys to check out what products Turtle Wax has for your car. So we're not going to do the wheel arch today, but we're going to have a go at this.
Yes. So, because this is two skins, what you need to do first is grab the needle scaler, give this a good needle scaling to see what good metal we've got. If we can get away with just replacing this outer skin section by putting a new piece in, that's what we can do.
Yep.
If any of this boot floor perforates, which I've got a feeling it will, that's a slightly different kettle of fish. We'll have to open this seam up, repair underneath, and then make a new panel to go over the top.
So it looks like we've got away with it. It looks like we're just going to have to do this outer skin, which is a good thing.
Clean everything up that's in that, that area. So watch your spark, all the way up.
That way?
Yeah. So, I'd like you to cut along there, down there, and down there. So you're actually cutting that piece off, but I don't want you to go through that. While you've got that in your hand, see that spot weld?
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Okay, cool. You've got rid of the spot weld there. So now you need to cut that round there with a disc cutter. Okay. Confident?
Not really.
You'll be fine. Okay, looks intimidating, but it's not.
Okay.
Okay. If I'm cutting out something delicate like this, palm of the hand on that end, and you can use that as a steady. Yeah. Instead of holding it like that and trying to hold that there, and literally look at your mark, cut through, boom, and then boom, 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 boom. Don't worry about the bend. If you do it as straight as you can, boom. Will that come out now? Look, that is perfect, Mike. Look, you didn't even touch that.
I was scared about that.
Absolutely perfect.
Got a buzz out of that. While you're doing that, can I ask a favour?
Yeah.
Can I use your man cave for like 20 minutes?
Of course you can.
I need to have a chat with Vin Diesel
Oh, cool.
for the Fast and Furious 9, and I thought your man cave would look sick for the
Yes.
May I?
Of course.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Say hi from me.
I will do.
I think it's inevitable that you're going to have electric cars incorporated into the Fast franchise.
Okay, so Mike's gone off to interview one of his celebrity friends. Obviously likes him more than me. Can't understand why, but hey. So I've made a plate for the back of the Mazda. Mike cut out all the rot. We've shaped, we've cut, we've zinc plated, so we're ready to weld in. Okay, so that's job done, that's welded in. A little bit of seam sealer, a little bit of zinc primer, and that's that part done. We've also replaced the front chassis leg, the inner and outer sections of that on the front. We've gone around the car with Mike looking at all the other parts that we need to do. When you guys come back next time, we have the arches done, we'll have the sills done, and hopefully we'll have it primed, ready for paint. Look out for that one.
So I finished my chat with Daddy Diesel, but now it's time to leave Mad Ford because we're heading to Connaught. The guys at Connaught, since we last filmed, have been developing the V10 engine, and they've been putting it in their Mule MX-5, their prototype MX-5, so that when this car is finished, everything just slots into place and it's ready to go. So let's get in the Drive Tribe Focus and head to Norfolk. Day 2, let's get an update on the V10. So as you guys can see, this is a Mark III MX-5, but I'll explain that in a bit. What we're worried about is what's under the bonnet. Because under here is the Connaught 2-litre V10. How good does that look in that car, that black plenum? So the reason this is a Mark III is because they had this MX-5 lying about here. So they thought, why not try that, get the engine in. Actually, the engine and gearbox is in this car, and it seems to fit perfectly. They are going to get a Mark II as well, so they can measure all this up and make sure that the engine fits perfectly into my car. There are plans afoot that are very, very exciting though. So you can get this engine completely naturally aspirated, 180, maybe 200 horsepower. Then there's going to be an option to twin supercharge it, which takes it to maybe 220, 230-ish. And then they're also thinking of making a twin turbo option, which will take it up to a number we don't know really. What's really cool is that the guys here have employed an F1 engineer to come onto this project to finish off this engine. So Tim Bishop was the guy that designed this V10 and brought it to life back in the early 2000s. And then Chris, a guy who's worked on some of Lewis Hamilton's championship winning engines, has been brought in to get this engine singing alongside Tim. Now, what they found out is some pretty cool stuff so far. They think this engine will be capable of 12,500 RPM, maybe even 13. What is that thing gonna sound like? That engine in this car and in my car is going to seriously shift. But let's get Phil in from BDI to take us through everything. Phil, last time we were here, we filmed with the Connaught Type D.
Yes.
What has happened with this engine since we were last here?
Well, because Tim Bishop is the guy we bought the company from and he's now still part of Connaught, we just wanted to see what things have happened since the early 2000s or the late 1990s to today. So to do that, we thought we'd instruct a Formula One engine builder, very, very popular guy, just to go through, because things have changed. Certainly with the ECU, and a lot of it's now electronically controlled. When we invited him up with another man, Nikos, who makes all forged pistons out of billet aluminium, when he saw the engine, I was really expecting a negative thing. He just fell in love with it, and then wow, and I then had to go and pat Tim on the back, because what he came up with all those years ago is still relevant today.
You can't not like a V10.
Well, absolutely. Well, when I first heard about it, I thought 2 litres, I'm not really interested. I was into 5 litres and bigger engines. But now the logic in this is exactly the same size engine as the engine we took out the car.
Yeah.
So 2 litres for 2 litres. It makes an awful lot of sense.
Okay, so you're developing everything for my car, but the real aim here is to come up with a kit so that other people can put V10s in their car. So what's been happening in terms of making that kit?
Well, first of all, getting it in, there's no bulkhead cutting, nothing. It just fits in the same hole. The beauty of this engine is all aluminium, so the weight is exactly the same. It's slightly lighter than the engine that comes out that's got a cast iron block. So then the V is very, very narrow, which is great, so you don't have to cut anything on the outside. The suspension is the same. We've moved the steering rack forward, which is a good thing on most Mazdas anyway, and we have to make our own anti-roll bar. But basically, it's the simplest engine conversion I've ever done.
So that actually debunks a lot of comments. A lot of MX-5 engine swaps are big V6s, big V8s, and they spoil the car's handling. And a lot of people said the weight over the front with a V10 is going to ruin the car. But you're saying it's actually the same, if not lighter, than the original engine.
Absolutely. It's longer, but it is the same weight, if not slightly lighter. Obviously, if you're going twin supercharged, it will get heavier. Twin turbocharged, it get heavier. But normally aspirated, and the revs, and turbochargers won't be doing the same revs as normally aspirated. So I'm a normally aspirated person. To drive this down the road at 12,000 revs, I don't care if I'm doing 40 miles an hour. It's just the sound of 12,000 revs.
Okay, that, I mean, 12,000 RPM in an MX-5 sounds unbelievable. And it's really cool to see that this definitely fits and should fit in my Mark II as well. So what's gonna happen from this to my car having an engine running? What's the process?
Well, the first thing now is to have the radiator, which we've designed and have it made, which would have to be for this engine. Secondly, this engine comes with our 5-speed gearbox, and yours has a 5-speed gearbox, but this car came with a 6-speed gearbox. So we have 2 other gearbox adapters to be made. We've had it CAD scanned already, so we're in the process of doing 5-speed ×2 or a 6-speed gearbox.
And remember guys, this is not a one-off build. The whole point in this is that a kit is created so that you guys can put a V10 in your MX-5. So this isn't just like any other YouTube build, this is gonna be pretty special. Now Phil, this is cool, but there's so much else in your workshop. Can we please have a look around?
Well, you can see 20% of what we do and come back for the other 80%. As the summer goes along, they'll all be finished, but at the moment, just see 20%.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Bevan Davidson International is the overarching company that has many brands under its roof, including Sopwith, which builds airplane-inspired 3-wheelers which run on 2-stroke engines, Trident, which makes supercars like this Iceni, which has the twin-turbo V6 from the current Ford GT, and even International Ambulances Limited, who are looking to completely shake up the emergency services. And then of course, there's Connaught. This place is a proper treasure trove of inventions, but I could not help coming back to check out the V10. In the next episode, hopefully my car will have its bodywork fully finished and we'll get it here to start the whole process. And now that I know there's an F1 engineer involved and the engine is running, we have to get along to a dyno and hear this thing at hopefully more than 12,000 RPM. I've been Mike, and don't forget to subscribe to Drive Tribe.